And good evening. It's, of course, the right time to be live because nobody cares is live. My name is Likuyani Eli, and tonight we are discussing things that matter to you, definitely not to others. Have you had the opportunity to go to our website, or rather our Facebook page and our YouTube channel? If you haven't, this is your time to subscribe. You just have to go and look out for The Arts in Heart official on YouTube, The Arts in Heart on Facebook, The Arts in Heart on Instagram, and of course, without forgetting, we are now on Twitter. So welcome. Over the past few weeks, we've been having discussions here and there, trying to figure out how things work. And today, I want to bring us a message on the waiting room. Have you ever at one point felt like you are caged? Have you felt like everything you've been trying to do, it doesn't really make sense to everybody else but you? Have you been in a position of doubt, a position that you're wondering what else is left before it's all over, until you feel like you want to throw in the towel? Tonight, the message is custom made for you. So before we get to start, invite your friends, share this broadcast, and let's do this together. Meantime, as I wait for you guys to invite your friend, I want us to take a moment to listen to this speech. And of course, it has nothing to do with the speaker of tonight, rather, the speech of tonight, but it has everything to do with why we need to look at what we say as human beings.
We all have to remember that hate crimes is preceded by hate speech. We all have to remember that the genocide of the Tutsis in Rwanda started with hate speech. The Holocaust did not start with the gas chambers. It started long before with hate speech. What we have been seeing in Myanmar against the Rohingya population started also with hate speech. And today, what we are witnessing around this world, with the rise of extremists, be it in Europe, be it in Asia, everywhere, when we see the growing number of neo-Nazi group, neo-fascist group, when we see the way migrants and refugees are being vilified, we need therefore to make every effort to address this hate speech. We have to bear in mind that words kill. Words kill as bullets. And that is why we need to make every effort to invest on education, to invest on the youth, so that the next generation will understand the importance of living peacefully together. We need to make every effort so that the attacks like the one we have witnessed in Sri Lanka, when churches were attacked, the one we witnessed in New Zealand, what we saw in Pittsburgh, all this has to stop. And to stop it, we need to invest more on mobilizing the youth. We need to use the verb to become a tool for peace, a tool for love, a tool for increasing social cohesion, harmony in our world, instead of being a tool for committing genocide, crimes against humanity.
Hold on to that and remind me, because when we finish this program, I'll be touching on that topic. Tonight, I want us to focus the waiting room. The waiting room is a place that you are there anticipating for things to happen. The waiting room is a space that you feel lost. The waiting room is the space you feel your only chance of hope is held right in that place. If you happen to look at the image that we use tonight as our thumbnail, I use this bird that is in a cage. I believe it's an owl, and that's courtesy of my friend who doesn't want me to mention their name. But in that image, we see a bird that is caged. It actually looks like it is imprisoned, but in fact, that bird had been rescued. That is the backstory. I want you to picture yourself in a cubed room. I want you to picture yourself in a place of anticipation. I want you to picture yourself in a place called nowhere. In that space, you want to start and look at your life. And as you look at your life, there are things you realize probably they don't add up. I was a few weeks ago sharing with one of my closest buddies discussing about how life functions. And have you ever asked yourself, why do you wake up in the morning? Well, most of you will tell me because you needed to go to work. Most of you will tell me because morning came. But most of you that have no idea, we realize we wake up every morning because we still have a purpose to accomplish as human beings. As you sit there watching and listening to me tonight, you're trying to discover what is your purpose then. Your purpose, I want to draw you back to the waiting room. The waiting room is a place that you want to rediscover things that you never thought you knew, or rather, things that you knew and never thought you actually knew them in depth. So as you sit in that waiting room, there are questions that arise. The first question is, whatever I'm doing, is it worth it? I know there are people who are in business. I know there are people who are, trying to pursue their studies, and you're lost in between. Should I pursue this course or not? And every single day you wake up, it's a seed of doubt that is planted. You are either trying to figure out if you are good enough to do that which is awaiting you, or you're not good enough, or this is not absolutely cut out for you. And in that room, you feel lost. In that room, you equally want somebody to reach out and show you help. I'm going to paint a few scenarios here. As a farmer, when you go to the planting season, the only thing you have to do is prepare the fields. And once you prepare the fields, make sure the soil is well organized and it's smooth enough to take in the seed. Your only job there is to actually plant the seed. But then you'll have to give a waiting time. And during this waiting period, a lot of things are happening to that seed. But we are not at liberty to always come and root it out and check, is this happening to this seed? For those of you who were lucky enough to study agriculture and probably have some agricultural background, you realize a seed has to die. And during that period of death, it is creating a new life. And then it will germinate. But even after it germinates, it still stays trapped under the ground. What is happening here is life is taking its course. Process is happening. Germination is happening. But this thing will not shoot out the ground until it's ready. Are we at a space that we feel things are taking too long? Are we at a space that we feel probably nothing is happening? I want you to remember that seed. Another example is the pine tree, I'm told. Somebody will plant a pine tree and you'll keep watering and watering and watering, but nothing happens. So is the bamboo tree. You'll water this thing for so many years and you see nothing happen. And then one single day, you see a shoot sprouting out of the ground. A very small thing. Unknown to many, because of the period you took, because of the patience you took to water this plant, which is now your bamboo tree or your pine tree, it was growing in. It was growing and it was being nurtured. And eventually it shoots off the ground. And then a few more months or so, this thing is as long as whatever thing you can imagine. But what happens is a lot of us get lost in the waiting room and lose while in the waiting room. We forget that in that period, it's your period of growth. I want you to take the current situation whereby we want things overnight. We call them the microwave generation, whereby you go to bed and you expect, things to happen overnight. We actually put in some work, I would say. We put in some effort, but what we lack is the patience to let it grow. Are you that person? Let's see. We have Nancy Magan say good evening to you. Rando Williams, thank you so much. Say, wow, so nice. Thank you so much. Matasi Okagwa, good evening to you, sir. How are you doing tonight? Vine Malimali Abariako, Gregson Wax Kags, fabulous. I believe that was the word. And we have Joseph Mwirori who says great. Thank you so much for watching. And in case you are tuning in for the first time, remember you can always subscribe to our channel. That is The Arts in Heart on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And of course, in case you don't know the handles, they'll be coming shortly on your screen. There we have them. That is The Arts in Heart on Facebook, The Arts in Heart official on YouTube. And without forgetting, we have The Arts in _and_Heart on Instagram. Drop us an email if you have questions or queries pertaining the things and discussions we have here, theartsinheart@gmail.com. For now, I want us to take a quick break. And when we come back, let's continue with the conversation. Any questions, be sure to send them through the comment section.
No, nilikwambia mambo ya Webuye. He said I heard that drama people are from Nairobi and Webuye and other serious towns, not Kimilili. So I decided to give it a try. By the way, was the first one, I think, from Kimilili who is serious about drama. The rest were from Webuye, Kitale, Bungoma, serious towns. Kimilili was just a place for circumcision.
And yes, that is Director Derek Waswa, who is screening the virtual experience at the Kenya National Theatre. Be sure to catch that from the 4th and 6th of February 2022. Back to our discussion. OMG, God forbid, some things happen. As we're discussing these issues, when we discuss matters, when you feel you are caged and you're in the waiting room and nothing is happening. I want to give you another example of, let's talk about trees. I will really be natural this Tuesday, because I want us to make sense in everything we're discussing. When we talk about trees, imagine a tree that is supposed to give you a fruit, okay? And this tree, you plant it. What happened is you give it time to grow. But what if you accelerated the rate at which this tree will grow? Definitely, with all these catalysts, it will grow faster and it will give fruits. The problem with that fruit is that it will not be the right value in terms of the nutrients it has to offer, because you accelerated the process. Notice that sometimes it is okay to go through the process of growth. It doesn't mean you are lazy. It doesn't mean you're not doing good enough. It just means you need to respect the process of growth. Growth will demand you experience some pain. Growth will demand you withstand some harsh climatic conditions. If it is that tree, probably it will be bending thanks to the wind. There's so much heavy wind and it swings from one end to the other. But as it does that, it is trying to withstand the condition so that by the end of the day, it is able to give you a valuable fruit. I will take you back to a story about the Bible, for those who read one. There are these people who are called old men in the town of Jericho. And what happened to these old men who were supposed to be wise and respected? And I'm paraphrasing this story so that we don't get into the biblical aspect of this, but rather the context, is they were cut their beard into half. And by then, beard was pride to many in this community. Beard was a very, very significant aspect of a man. So having your beard cut, and it's not just the whole beard being well and neatly done. They cut it into a half, and you have half a beard on your face. Imagine that as a man. What that did was it removed the respect and the honor you had as a man. So what happened to these men is they had to stay in that closed wall of Jericho until their beard grew again. That tells you sometimes when things hit you, they are not hitting you because you are the weakest. You could be the strongest, but only then you will get to understand the value of being patient, the value of growing within a period, the value of waiting. A lot of us are impatient, and I cannot fault you. Probably the dream you had was, when I leave school, I'll be able to pursue a great job, and then I will have this, and I will have that, and I will have that. But reality of life comes and tells you, no, 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 come here, my friend. This is not how it was designed. You are designed to wait. A mother that is expecting a child will not just become a mother overnight. They will have to go through the process of carrying the pregnancy. They will take care of this pregnancy. They will conceive, and then, they will have the morning sickness, and then they will have the very strange cravings, and then they will have the sleepless nights, and then they'll have nights that they will sleep too much. And then over a period of time, the baby will come to term. But even as the baby comes to term, that is not the end of the story. They'll have to go to the labor ward. And most of us fear getting to the labor ward. We are all at a point that we are afraid of getting to the labor ward. We prefer to have the ready-made, baby come and your daddy, your mommy. That is all we want. But mind you, for that baby to come, sometimes you'll have to go to that labor ward. And lucky enough, you'll walk out with a baby in your arms. Sometimes you'll walk out empty. But what you need to get through all this is the experience puts you at a better place. We need to grow from one level to another, but you cannot experience growth until you go through growth. I want you to take that from me. You cannot experience growth until you go through growth. Every single day you invest your time into something and do it diligently, it means a plus on your growth. Every single day you perfect that skill. You don't have to be the best of the best. You don't have to be Picasso. But every moment you take that pencil, that painting brush, and do your sketch and perfect it overnight and perfect it diligently and be consistent in whatever you're doing, you will eventually see the result. So I want to call you that is in the waiting room and ask you, do you feel discouraged pursuing your dream? Do you feel discouraged pursuing that career? Do you feel discouraged pursuing that happiness? Because happiness, they say it's a choice, but sometimes it's work. It is constant input of work to experience happiness. And most of us always believe it has to be instant gratification. You do A and you do B and things are working out. That is not always the case. Matasia says, good evening. I believe we had gone through that already. Let's just get to this. Joseph, that is MC Kenito Anasema, following from Maranda. Thank you so much, everyone in Maranda. That is Western Kenya. Watu karibu na the city. Karibu sana. Hello, Njoroge. That is, sorry, Njonjo, Sarah. Hello, good evening, family. Good evening to you. Seraphine amebaki hapo kwa background, tumekuja kusoma. Thank you so much, Seraphine. And we have Jekita, who says very true, agreeing with the discussion we are having tonight. So I want us to remember these things. If there's anything you want to take home tonight with you, is there is value in patience and there is value in waiting. I'm not asking us to be blind to situations. I'm not asking us to be blind to realities, but I'm asking us to be patient enough to experience what we have put into the work. Many of us give up when the baby is about to be delivered. Throw in the towel. Probably that is when it was ripe. But just before things worked out for you, you gave up. Understand, over the past number of years, let's say the current 2-3 years, a lot of people have gone through changes when it comes to what they believe in. You know, you have left yourself wondering, am I the Ellie I thought I was? Am I the person I always thought I would be? And every night you have casted doubt on who you are. Every day you have casted doubt on what you're capable of doing. This is not a speech to make you the best of the best. This is a speech, or probably a voice to remind you, you just need to remember, the waiting room is never the perfect place to be in, but it's the perfect place to grow. And for you to experience growth, you need to go through the process of growth. As we turn almost end of January, I'm told we are in for another season of Art in Heart. And we want to experience greatness as a team. We want to experience greatness as an online family. We want to experience greatness as the nation. And that's why we are setting up agendas and programs to remind us who we are. We are not just leaders. We have to bear integrity, and we have to bear, responsibility. And those are some of the subjects we'll be articulating as we go into our season 3 of Art in Heart. We'll be discussing leadership at a very deep depth. We'll be discussing integrity. We'll be discussing responsibility. As a man and a woman, what responsibility do you owe to this society that we call us? What responsibility is put on our shoulders to make sure that as a country, we are better than we were yesterday? I know a lot of campaigns will be happening and everybody will be doing politics, but yes, as we discuss politics, how then do we add value to the politics and the society we call Kenya and the world at large? That's why I want to invite you to our discussions from the month of February. They're about 11th of February as we kickstart with the month of love. Let's show some love and remember one thing. Hate speech is all you need to disintegrate a society. But how much love can we share if only we noticed our differences are not really differences, but they give us diversity and something to celebrate as a society. So I invite you to be part of the conversation. I invite you to be one and part of the family. Simply go to our YouTube channel, get to subscribe, share this information if you find it valuable. And if you find it probably somebody else needs to listen and get in, invite them to be part and parcel of the team we call Art in Heart. Having said that, on Thursday, I look forward to hosting one Derek Waswa, who will be screening what we call the virtual reality show at the Kenya National Theatre. If you haven't got your ticket for Friday because it's already booked up, we will be giving 4 tickets on Thursday. So be part of the program and get to win yourself a ticket to this show. Until then, see you. God bless you. Take care of yourself. And thank you so much for making it always to Art in Heart. Before I conclude, I have following you from Mapera, that is Elmut Shikami. Sijui uko ni wapi, but thank you so much from wherever you're watching us from. If you can't surprise yourself, you're still asleep. And so is how we grow. Thank you so much, Matasi Okagwa, for making that contribution. Until Thursday, I do hope to catch you then. Be blessed and a great evening.
And now, let the weak say I am. what the Lord has done for us. Give thanks.